Welcome to RecapVerse. Today we bring you the gripping thriller Kidnap, a mother's unstoppable fight to save her son. The movie opens with Karla Dyson, played by Halle Berry, at home with her young son, Frankie. We see warm moments, showing how much she loves and protects him. Later, Karla is at work in a restaurant, moving from table to table, serving customers. She looks distracted and stressed, but she's trying to keep it together. Frankie calls for her to hurry, reminding her they're supposed to spend the day at the park together. They arrive at the park together. At the park, families are enjoying themselves, music plays, and kids are running around. Frankie plays with his little recorder while Karla takes a phone call from her divorce lawyer. For just a moment, Karla looks away. When she looks back, Frankie is gone. Panic floods her face as she calls his name and searches frantically. Then, she spots him, being pulled into a blue car by a strange woman. Karla screams and runs, dropping her phone on the ground as the car speeds off. Without hesitation, she jumps into her red minivan and tears after them. The chase is on. Karla races through traffic, honking and shouting, desperate to keep the blue car in sight. Her entire focus is on one goal: saving her son. And that's where the intensity of the movie kicks in, a mother willing to risk it all. Karla's red minivan speeds down the highway, locked on the blue kidnapper's car. She weaves dangerously through lanes, never letting it out of sight. At one point, the blue car suddenly swerves, nearly causing a crash. Karla grips the wheel, refusing to give up. She honks and flashes her lights, shouting for them to stop. But the kidnappers keep pushing forward. Traffic builds, and the kidnappers try to use it to their advantage. At one intersection, Karla pulls up alongside them, yelling for them to release her son. For a brief moment, she sees Frankie's terrified face in the back seat. The woman yanks him out of sight, and the blue car speeds up again. As Karla speeds after the kidnappers, a police officer on a motorcycle pulls her over, waving for her to stop. The officer steps closer, clearly frustrated by her reckless driving. Karla, panicked and out of breath, begs him to listen. Her son has been kidnapped. She points desperately at the fleeing car ahead, crying out that her boy is inside. The officer, torn between procedure and the urgency in her voice, but before he can react, the kidnappers suddenly swerve back into the scene. In a brutal instant, their vehicle smashes into the officer, crushing him between Karla's car and his bike. The impact is violent. Metal crunches, glass shatters, and the officer is thrown lifelessly to the ground. Karla screams in shock, her heart breaking for the man who tried to help. The kidnapper stops at a location. Halle Berry also steps out, desperately begs the man to release her son, telling him she is willing to give him everything. She throws her purse to him and even gives him the PIN for her credit card. The man picks up the purse and goes inside. Shortly after, a woman comes down. Then the woman suddenly steps out and approaches Karla. She orders Karla to open the door. Karla refuses at first, gripping the wheel in fear. But under the woman's threats, she eventually gives in, and the woman climbs into the passenger seat of her red minivan. The kidnappers force her to follow their blue car. They drive under a covered bridge, tension thick in the air. The woman suddenly turns violent, lunging at Karla inside the moving van, trying to strangle her. The struggle is fierce, but Karla fights back with everything she has. In a desperate move, she shoves the woman out of the minivan, sending her tumbling onto the road. Karla steadies her van and drives forward. Ahead, the blue car waits for her. Thinking quickly, Karla pretends to be the kidnapper woman. She waves her hand through the window, as if signaling everything is fine. From a distance, the male kidnapper mistakes her gesture and believes his partner has killed Karla. The blue car moves on, and Karla continues the chase, still fueled by one goal: save Frankie at all costs. Karla finally loses sight of the blue kidnapper's car. Fear grips her as she frantically searches the roads ahead. Then, up in the distance, she notices an accident scene. She pulls over and rushes out of her red minivan. To her shock, the wrecked vehicle is the same blue car that took her son. Desperate, she approaches a bystander and asks, "Did you see a man and a boy from this car? Where did they go?" The man replies that after the crash, he saw a man and a boy walking away down the road. Karla's heart races. She tells him that man is a kidnapper, that he has stolen her son. The bystander points her toward the road ahead, saying there's a police station down there. Karla drives straight to the station. Inside, she pleads with the lady officer on duty, explaining her son has been kidnapped. She anxiously asks if she's the only one working there. The lady replies they work mostly online, not in the field. Karla begs to use her phone. As she calls her estranged husband, her eyes drift to a bulletin board covered with missing children's posters. The chilling sight makes her realize this is bigger than just Frankie, and that waiting for help may mean losing her son forever. She decides she must act on her own. Back in her red minivan, she starts asking people along the road if they've seen a man walking with a little boy. Everyone shakes their heads. Just as despair creeps in, a black Volvo suddenly speeds past her. Her instincts flare. She's sure Frankie is inside. Karla floors her minivan, chasing the Volvo. The pursuit is tense, weaving through traffic. Suddenly, the Volvo strikes a young girl crossing the road. Karla swerves hard, barely avoiding running over the injured child. Her heart pounds, but she can't stop. Frankie is still out there. Then her fuel gauge blinks empty. Her minivan sputters, slowing down. The Volvo disappears ahead. She waves frantically at a logistics truck, begging the driver to stop. She tells him her son has been kidnapped and the car passed this way. The driver warns her that road is a dead end, but before they could do anything, a sudden impact sends the truck crashing violently. The driver is killed instantly. Karla stumbles out, shaken, realizing the kidnapper man is still hunting her. From a distance, the man points a gun at her. She dives behind her minivan for cover as bullets slam into the metal. He circles closer, smashing the window with his hand, trying to shoot her at point-blank range. In a desperate move, Karla yanks the handbrake, sending the minivan rolling with the man half inside, half outside. His body slams violently against trees and debris as the van barrels forward. Finally, the vehicle smashes into a huge tree. Breathing heavily, Karla searches his pockets. She finds his ID card, which gives her the lead she needs. Determined, she follows it straight to his house. When she enters, the place is eerily quiet. Then, from another room, she overhears the woman kidnapper on the phone with a client, coldly negotiating. She tells the buyer the price has gone up because it's not easy to get one. Karla now knows exactly what kind of monster she's dealing with. When the call ends, the woman mutters to herself that she needs to go find her partner, saying he went to finish the job because Halle Berry refuses to give up. Karla immediately seizes the moment and calls the police from the house phone. The operator tells her officers will arrive, but it will take 10 to 15 minutes. Knowing she doesn't have that kind of time, Karla decides to keep searching on her own. Exploring another part of the building, she hears faint cries. She discovers Frankie locked inside a room upstairs with two other kidnapped girls. Looking around frantically, she realizes there's no staircase, only a high-level room that needs a ladder. She searches for one, but can't find it. She later managed to rescue her son with no way to reach the two girls. Those girls are scared of coming down. At that moment, the kidnapper woman storms back, armed with a pump-action shotgun and her dog. She releases the dog, forcing Karla to run with Frankie toward the lake. They dive into the water, hiding beneath the surface while the woman searches the banks. The woman spots Frankie's head above water and raises her shotgun. Just before she fires, Karla surges out, pulling. The struggle ended at the edge of the water, where Karla forced the woman under. Despite the kidnapper thrashing to escape, Karla held her down until she drowned, eliminating the last threat standing between her and her son's freedom. Karla then returns to the barn and encounters a man who claims to be a neighbor. He offers to help by bringing the two girls down. However, Karla realizes he is actually the ringleader because he knows too much, like the number and gender of the kidnapped children, without being told. She strikes him with a shovel and knocks him out, telling him, "You took the wrong kid." Shortly afterward, the police arrive and rescue all three children. Media reports later highlight that Karla's actions helped dismantle an international child trafficking ring. She is hailed as a heroine. Thanks for watching this intense recap of Kidnap. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to RecapVerse for more thrilling movie recaps.